The auditorium roared with excitement. Parents clapped, phones flashed, proud tears fell as each name echoed through the microphone. Sarah Johnson, Michael Lee. The graduates walked proudly, gowns swaying, faces glowing. But in the very last row, one man sat differently. He wasn't clapping wildly. He wasn't filming on a phone. He just sat there, hands clasped, eyes locked on the stage. His name was Marcus Brown, a broad-shouldered, dark-skinned man in his late 40s, a Marine veteran. His hair was speckled with grey, his uniform jacket worn but polished, and on it a chest full of medals that told silent stories of war. He had been to hell and back, Iraq, Afghanistan, secret missions nobody would ever know. He had stood in deserts, jungles, and mountains, fighting for a country that often forgot him. Today wasn't about him. It was about his son, David Brown. David, the boy Marcus had missed birthdays for, the boy he carried in his wallet when bullets flew overhead, the boy who once cried when Marcus shipped out, promising, "One day, Dad, I'll make you proud." Today was that day, David's graduation. The principal's voice boomed through the mic. Next on stage, David Brown. The crowd erupted. David stepped forward, his face glowing, his walk strong. He scanned the audience, searching for one face, his father's. And in that exact moment, Marcus felt a tap on his shoulder. He turned. 2 campus security guards towered over him, arms crossed, expressions stiff. Guard number 1, "Sir, we're going to have to ask you to leave." Marcus blinked, confused. "Leave? Why? My son's on stage right now." Guard number 2 leaned in, his tone sharp. "We've had complaints. Some parents don't feel comfortable with you here." Marcus's chest tightened. "Complaints? About what?" "I've been sitting quietly." The first guard smirked. "Look, let's not make this hard. Stand up and come with us." On stage, David shook the principal's hand. The camera flash captured his proudest moment, but the empty chair where his father sat was already noticed by him. The guards guided Marcus out through the side doors. Parents glanced over, whispering, frowning. Some turned their heads, pretending not to see. Marcus resisted the urge to shout. His mind screamed, "I fought for these people. I bled for them. And now, on my son's day, they treat me like a criminal?" Outside in the hallway, the laughter and applause from inside felt like daggers. Marcus stopped walking, his voice low, filled with years of held-back pain. "Listen, I served this country for 20 years. I buried brothers in arms. I missed the birth of my son because I was in uniform, fighting for you. And now you're telling me I can't watch him graduate?" The guard folded his arms. "We don't care about your sob story. You're making people uncomfortable. End of discussion." The second one added cruelly, "You people always think the rules don't apply to you." Marcus's jaw clenched so hard his teeth ached. His fists curled, but he forced himself still. He wasn't going to ruin his son's day by fighting. But destiny had other plans. A deep voice broke the silence. "Funny, I don't remember rules applying when he saved all of our lives." The guards spun around. 6 figures stepped out of the dim hallway corners. They weren't ordinary men. Their presence was heavy, commanding. Their movements sharp, deliberate. Tattoos peeked out from under their sleeves, scars ran across their arms, and their eyes, cold, calculating, spoke of battles won and nightmares survived. They were Navy SEALs. The leader, a towering man known as Hawk, walked forward slowly. His voice was calm but carried a blade's edge. "You're about 2 seconds away from the biggest mistake of your careers. Do you know who this man is?" The guards stammered, caught off guard. We don't care who he is. He doesn't belong here." Another SEAL, nicknamed Viper, stepped closer. His stare was venomous. "He belongs here more than anyone. He bled for this country when you were sitting safe at home, and you dare tell him to leave his son's graduation?" The guards faltered. Their earlier arrogance shrank in front of the 6 warriors. Marcus looked at them in disbelief. "Why are you all here?" Hawk smirked. "Because, brother, you never walk alone. Not then, not now, not ever." The hallway grew heavy with silence. The faint sound of applause from inside contrasted with the tension outside. Guard number 1 tried to put on a brave face. "You don't scare us, we'll call the police." Viper leaned in so close their noses almost touched. "Call whoever you want, but remember this. When the police arrive, they'll learn you tried to throw out a decorated Marine in front of his own son on the most important day of his life. Think about what that headline will look like." Guard number 2 swallowed hard. His voice cracked. "We were just following protocol." Hawk's eyes burned. "Protocol? Respect isn't protocol. It's earned, and this man earned more than you could ever imagine." The 6 SEALs formed a wall around Marcus. Their movements were silent, perfectly in sync, as if they were back on a mission. Marcus felt a lump in his throat. For years he had carried the weight of battles alone, and now, here they were. his brothers in arms, standing by his side when he needed them most. Inside, David looked around. He didn't see his father. His excitement dimmed, replaced by worry. He clutched his diploma tighter, his lips whispering, "Where are you, Dad?" The ceremony moved on, but David's heart wasn't in it. Meanwhile, outside, Hawk placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder. "You're going back in there, not as some man sitting quietly in the back row. You're walking in with us, the people who know exactly who you are." Marcus shook his head. "This is David's day. I don't want a scene." Hawk gave a small grin. "Too late, brother. We don't make scenes, we make history." Cliffhanger ending of Part 1. The auditorium doors loomed ahead. Behind them, a proud son searched for his father. In the hallway, 6 SEALs stood ready to slice through any wall of disrespect. And as Marcus took a deep breath, preparing to walk back inside, one truth echoed louder than any applause. 2 guards had tried to silence a Marine. But now 6 SEALs were about to silence the entire room. The heavy wooden doors of the auditorium loomed ahead. Behind them, the sound of names being called, applause and cheers continued. But out here, in the hallway, time felt frozen. Marcus stared at those doors, torn between pride and fear. He didn't want his son's big day to turn into chaos. But Hawk's voice broke the silence. "Hawk, Marcus, listen, we've walked with you through fire. You don't get to walk away from this. Your boy needs to see you standing tall today." Marcus exhaled slowly. His hand trembled. His heart pounded harder than it ever had in combat. Then Hawk nodded to the others. Formation. 6 SEALs shifted instantly, their movements crisp, silent, lethal. They weren't barging in, they were executing. And with Marcus at the center, they pushed the doors open. The creak of the doors echoed. Hundreds of heads turned. Conversations hushed. And then they saw them. 6 men moving like shadows, surrounding a Marine whose presence filled the space. The room changed instantly. Pride, fear, confusion, all mixed in the air. The principal froze mid-sentence on the stage. Parents whispered. Phones rose discreetly to record. David, standing in line with other graduates, spotted them. His eyes widened. "Dad?" Marcus locked eyes with his son. For the first time in years, they shared a moment without words. Just raw connection. But the silence broke quickly. The 2 guards burst inside, chasing after them. "Stop! They can't be in here!" The head guard's voice cracked with authority he didn't really have. "This is a private ceremony. You can't just storm in like this." The SEAL called Viper turned, his voice sharp as a knife. "We didn't storm in. We walked in, with the man who earned his place here more than anyone in this room." The guard sneered. "Earned his place? He's not on the guest list." Another SEAL, nicknamed Ghost, finally spoke. His voice was low, deadly calm. "He's on a list you'll never be on. The list of men who sacrificed everything so you could stand here today, breathing free air." The words hung heavy. The audience stirred. Some clapped softly. Some bowed their heads. Others simply stared, uncomfortable but unable to deny the truth. On stage, David's body trembled. He clutched his diploma tight and walked straight to the microphone. "Excuse me." His voice cracked, but the gym grew silent. "That man, that Marine you just dragged out, that's my father." Gasps echoed through the crowd. David's eyes glistened, but his voice grew stronger. He missed birthdays. He missed holidays. He missed me because he was out there protecting people he didn't even know. Protecting you. And today, on my graduation day, you tried to erase him, like he didn't matter. The room was stunned. David raised his diploma high. "This is not just mine. This belongs to him, to my father, and I won't let anyone make him feel like he doesn't belong." The gym exploded with applause. Students clapped. Some parents stood. Even a few teachers wiped their eyes. Marcus felt his chest tighten. Pride, unlike any battlefield medal, swelled inside him. But the guards weren't finished. Guard No. 1 barked again, desperate to regain control. "This is out of order. They're disrupting the ceremony." Hawk stepped forward, towering over him. His voice dropped to a whisper that carried more threat than any scream. "You don't understand, do you? We're not here to disrupt. We're here to remind." The guard scoffed nervously. "Remind who of what?" Viper's eyes narrowed. "To remind this country of the men it forgets once the wars are over. To remind every single person in this room that freedom has a price, and you're looking at the man who paid it." The audience erupted again, this time louder, stronger. Parents stood. Students chanted David's name. The guards shrank. Their authority crumbled in the face of respect that could no longer be denied. For the first time, Marcus stepped forward. His voice was steady, deep, and carried the weight of years of silence. I didn't come here today to be noticed. I came to see my son achieve what I dreamed for him. But when you dragged me out, you reminded me of something I learned long ago. He paused. The crowd leaned closer. Respect isn't something given. It's something fought for, on the battlefield, and sometimes right here at home. He turned to David, eyes softening. And son, today you didn't just graduate. You showed me that you're stronger than I ever realized. I'm proud of you. David rushed forward, hugging his father tightly. The crowd cheered louder than ever before. The principal wiped his glasses, overwhelmed. He lifted the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, today we don't just celebrate David Brown. We celebrate his father, Marcus Brown, United States Marine. And we honor all veterans who stand among us. The gym thundered with claps, cheers, and tears. But in the corner, the guards stood frozen, pale. Their careers, their reputations, crumbling before their eyes. And Hawk, watching them, whispered coldly, "This isn't over. Respect isn't requested. It's demanded." The audience didn't know it yet, but the final act was about to bring the entire room to its knees. The gymnasium thundered with applause. Students whistled, parents rose clapping, the walls shook with pride. Marcus stood at the center, his son in his arms, 6 seals at his back. For the first time in years, he wasn't invisible. He wasn't a shadow, the father, honored openly. But in the corner, the 2 guards stood stiff, pale, their shame heavier with every cheer. The principal lifted a hand, calming the crowd. His voice rang clear. Today we celebrate more than academics. We celebrate sacrifice, service, and the truth that freedom is never free. The audience erupted again. Some cheered, others wept. Marcus bowed his head, feeling something he hadn't felt in years. Seen. Yet one guard couldn't let go. His pride cracked, his voice trembling. This isn't right. They don't belong here. This is for graduates, not a military parade. Boos rained down. Parents shouted for him to sit. Viper's eyes pierced him. You don't get it. Nobody's hijacking this ceremony. We're putting it back where it belongs, on respect. The guard spat. Respect can't be forced. Hawk stepped forward, voice calm, sharp as steel. You're right. Respect isn't forced. It's earned. And this man has earned more than you'll ever understand. The crowd roared again. The guards shrank, crushed under the weight of a room united against them. Marcus raised a hand, silencing even the seals. His voice carried across the gym. I don't hate these men. They're not the first to judge me by my skin, or to forget what a uniform means, and they won't be the last. His eyes glistened. But today my son stood here and claimed me with pride. He shouted to the world that his father matters. And for that, I don't need medals. I don't need applause. I already have everything I'll ever need. David squeezed his hand, whispering through tears, No, Dad, you're worth it. The crowd erupted, louder than ever before. Hawk's voice cut through the noise. Today, you saw what almost happened. A Marine, a father, nearly erased from his son's milestone. That cannot stand. Not here. Not anywhere. He scanned the crowd. When you see a veteran, don't look at his skin. Don't judge his clothes. Look at his scars. They're the price of your freedom. And if you can't respect that, you don't deserve the life it bought you. The gym froze. Then the chant rose, shaking the walls. Marcus! Marcus! The ceremony ended, but no one moved. Every eye followed as Marcus walked the aisle, David at his side, 6 seals forming a living shield around them. Parents reached out, students clapped his back, strangers whispered thanks. For the first time in years, Marcus didn't feel forgotten. He felt seen. At the door, Viper passed the guards. His words were cold, final. You tried to silence a Marine. Instead, you silenced yourselves. Outside, sunlight bathed them. Marcus looked at David, then at his brothers. Today wasn't just your graduation, son. It was mine too. Hawk placed a hand on his shoulder. No, brother. Today was justice. And so the story spread. 2 guards tried to shame a Marine. 6 seals silenced the room.